Right, so in terms of the setup, and we haven't got the sequence here now, but I think the key thing for me is getting the lead arm to be all the way down there. Nice sort of straight line there. That right hand particularly to be a little bit more on top. The knuckles of your right hand should be covered by your right thumb, as you can see. Whereas here we can start sort of seeing the sort of middle finger and index finger there kind of showing the nails. And your right hand for me is certainly more round this way underneath the grip with your palm facing up, yeah?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that right thumb is a little bit more on top. I mean, this thumb is kind of there, whereas this thumb now is kind of off to the side. And that stronger underhand right hand grip, when that then comes back to its more neutral position, will close the club face, okay? And if the club face at the top of the backswing or any time during the swing closes up, when you come back to impact, you've then got to try and make some adjustments to stop it. Now, we don't see the club face there now. There was the club face, but that's pointing up to the sky.
Yeah.
That, for me, is a closed position. Add into that the fact that when you come back to the golf ball here now, the hips don't really shift. They sort of almost kind of do this. You almost like pivot on your right foot, okay?
Yeah.
And we see the left foot kind of lifting up on its toe there. As you come into impact, there's impact here now. Hands now kind of behind the ball, and that ball's kind of shot off the club face there with the face that's closed. Big turny, lowy, hooky one, okay? Whereas this one here now, as we come back to the golf ball, trying to get a bit of shift now. That left hip moving into that wall a bit more that way. You can see impact. There's impact of the club. The ball just blurred off there. This is a sort of blocked off when you hit. They're kind of more in line now, you see, yeah, compared to that impact. I mean, look at those two there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the blur is further left.
It's almost spinning round my right.
Yeah, you're basically sort of doing this and then trying to hit it out to the right. Yeah,
That way.
exactly. You've got to move on to that left hip. So you can move on to that left hip, and that's where the follow through then looked a little bit kind of foreshortened because you weren't really releasing the club as you're used to. Okay, whereas that one obviously is your original on the left hand side, your original shum. But you just release the club effectively just too early. So again, when you release the club early, you're releasing the power early, so the ball gets less of it. You're closing the club face, you're lifting the club head up, so you're topping it. So you lose distance in two ways, and you have a club face that's mega closed. Well, neither of those things are you want to try and encourage. Lovely. And you're always going to be a slight draw of the ball. That's fine. Because you're not going to want to stand on the fairway and aim on the left hand side and fade it. But as long as you know you can aim on the right side of the fairway, not the right edge of the golf course, and sling it.
The bit of want to try and get. I mean, Chris need to just do that. But I'm feeling that my bicep is sore.
Yeah, because you're doing that.
Yeah.
Basically, when you're if you look at to explain it with your right arm why your right arm's sore, as you're hitting the golf ball here now, okay, your right arm kind of here now, and so this sort of that movement there is basically when you're sort of straightening your right arm out a little bit early. And the golf club, and this right arm now is sort of just gone that way rather than kind of being this way and a bit more sort of softer to impact. But just in terms of looking at the numbers here, and I'll write them on here for your own thing. So launch angle there was 14.7. Okay, that's good. Okay, the side spin was 619 RPM. That's good, and it's to the left. And your total distance was 199, okay? What we don't want is that launch angle, that's the launch there, to be up in the 18, 19, 20s, which I think you had a couple of, okay? We don't want the side spin to be over 1,000, or in 1,500 cases in some cases, obviously, because that will cause them to be a lot offline and lose a lot of yardage, because the carry will be gone, because you're basically topping it. So if we can get the launch somewhere around that 12 to 15-ish mark, you could try to get the 12, but I think you'll always be more sort of the top end of that spectrum. The size, when I say under 750 to 500-ish as a goal, if you can get under 500, brilliant. But look how much that ball didn't really show. I mean, okay, it's missed 12 yards left of target, so I would say fairly reasonable. So okay, that gap there is pretty much the same. So let's move 20, 25 yards in the air. Not a massive shape of shot, yeah? So when it starts moving from over here to over here, so we're looking at sort of 50, 60 yards of hook, there's no fairway wide enough that you can aim down the one side and keep it on the fairway, yeah? 20 to 25 yards of shape is certainly playable, yeah? But that felt to you that you held the club face open for eternity. So yeah, getting that sensation.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm still trying to hold that impact.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I would do some work. Again, the impact bags are always in here. Johnny, if you want to use them, you're more than welcome to when you're practicing, okay? But get that feeling of impact there. Now, and again, even at home without a golf club, you can stand there just up against the wall with your left foot against the wall there. Sometimes with one hand, just put there, hip on the wall, and you see my left shoulder's kind of moving up this way. I'm not going and sort of slouching into the wall. I'm keeping my spine angle back as my left hip moves to the side. And then my hands on the wall. I'm trying to do this now. If you actually notice, my wrist is on the wall, my knuckles aren't. If you focus over the wall, you'll see it a bit more now. I'm hitting the ball like this. I'm not doing this with my hand. My hand isn't actually touching the wall. My wrist is hitting the wall, yeah? So my left wrist is more in that position, not this cupped flick position, yeah?
I'm there.
Exactly, yeah. Not having your hands back by your right thigh and scooping or flicking the club in some way, yeah? Okay?
Yep.
Excellent. Good stuff, buddy.